Alright, take 3. This is me, 100%. I'm Joe. This is the Rebels Advocate, and I just want to talk about some stuff today, if that's okay. And some stuff that might be emotional and hard to talk about. And to be honest, I don't know where I'm going. I'm not. I already tried to start this video twice and cut it off, but I'm just going with it this time, and it's just me 100%. I'm just going to be sitting out here in my building, having a couple beers, if that's okay, and talking about some things I've been through. A lot of people, a lot of YouTubers out there, a lot of people just turn that camera on, man, they're good. They're good sitting in front of a camera, and I'm not one of those guys. If it seems like I am, well, good job me, I guess. But to be honest, I have a really tough time, like talking about shit in front of a camera. I don't know why. I think I can about get up in front of a crowd of 100 people and talk easier than I can all by myself in front of a camera. It just feels weird talking out loud when there's nobody there. But I've been trying to think about what I was going to talk about. It's been so long, and I apologize. It's been a long time since my last video, and it seems like every time I'm turning this camera on, I'm apologizing, because of that. But it's been several weeks, I guess, maybe a couple months. I don't know. But if you follow the channel, I was dealing with my stepdad was bad off, and he passed away the 18th of November, the right before Thanksgiving. And we've been dealing with that, and of course, it's a lot to cope with, and we've all took it pretty hard, my mom especially, and it's been a rough deal. So I didn't know, what to talk about when you come back from that. It felt weird to just come back with a regular video, and I was like, it felt like there's so much to talk about, to do with losing my stepdad, and because it was a tough time, and watching somebody for months go through what he went through, and then to be there by his bedside when he passed. And it's an emotional thing. And then, but at the same time, I didn't really want to, I guess, go too in depth or too personal about my own family on YouTube. And not to mention, I'm an anti-religious guy. That's pretty much what most of my videos are about. And he was a Christian man, and went to church, and my whole family is, and I don't want to get on here like tearing that down. And that's, I'll be talking about religion more today, I'm sure. I'm not sure really what I'm going to talk about. But this video really ain't to tear down religion, trash religion. It ain't, it's just, but I am going to probably talk about death, talk about, how it affects us all, whether we're religious or non-religious. And it is different, but I'm not so sure it's that different. I've talked about that before. I don't think we cope with hard times much different, atheists and religious people. We just, we feel like we do. We think we do, but I'm not convinced it's that different. But so I kind of decided not to talk about that. I was like, well, what do I talk about? And I had this little thought about how a lot of atheists, a lot of people, I know some people who don't believe in prayer. Like, you hear the term thoughts and prayers all the time, and of course, when you go through something like we just went through, you hear it a ton. Before he passed, everybody offered their thoughts and prayers, and as an atheist, I don't put any stock in that. You know, I don't think my level of hope was that much different than a religious person's. You know, it seems like religious people have this faith or this hope that, you know, maybe God would intervene, but it seems like there reaches a point where, you know, me as an atheist, it's like I still have hope. Well, maybe somehow he beats it. Maybe there's a miracle that can still happen, you know. And when I say miracle, I don't mean like a supernatural thing, but just against all odds, sometimes he beats it. And you hear that a lot, especially, you know, with cancer. Like, you know, the doctor's about to give up hope, and then somehow, you know, there's those cases where people come through when doctors thought they wouldn't, right? And so you kind of hope for that. Wherein the religious person hopes for a true supernatural miracle. And then I think there reaches a certain point where, you know, when the doctors have done all they can do and they send you home, where, you know, everybody loses hope. It seems like the religious people are still holding on, and still saying they believe in a miracle, but I don't know how strong that belief is. You know, it seems like we're all preparing for the worst, you know, Christian, atheist, side by side. It is different, and it is odd, and one day I might talk about that, because I think if you're an atheist and everyone around you is religious and someone close to you dies that is religious, there's this, and not to throw a pity party for myself, I'm not pretending like this was harder on me than anybody else, definitely not. You know, as my mom's the one I feel for, she's the one that this is going to hit the hardest. That was her, you know, her partner, her spouse, the person she did everything with, and you know, I can't imagine that, like losing my wife, like, to try to think of how hard that would be. Probably the hardest thing I had to deal with before this was losing my father. You know, I lost my dad when I was 16, and then, you know, now to lose my stepdad, and I've lost both grandpas, and I think that was hard, you know, looking at my baby girl, and just my wife, lost her dad that raised her, and so really there's no grandpa, I guess, there's no papa, no poppy, which is what she called him, and you know, you kind of want that, and it's just, it breaks my heart that she'll never really know him that way, but, and I'm trying not to get sidetracked, but if you're an atheist and you're in that situation, everybody, like, they kind of come together around religion, and whether it helps or not, that's the whole topic of conversation. Everybody is, you know, they're singing songs about heaven, they're talking about how we'll see him again in heaven, all those things that they kind of bond over, and you're just kind of sitting there alienated, I guess. Again, like, don't think that these tears are tears for me, like, oh, feel sorry for me, because it ain't. The tears are just over losing him. You know, it ain't got nothing to do with, oh, feel sorry for me because I'm an atheist, and it's not like that. Like, oh, it's harder on me because that's not it at all. You know, my wife and I was talking, like, days after my stepdad died, you know, and I guess that's why I'm trying to tear up now. It's like we try to be strong around my mom and hold her up, and then it was like every time my wife and I were alone together, we just would break on each other, which is okay. everybody's got to cry. But when you're in the atheist, you're sitting there. It's like everybody kind of has that, and you don't. And it doesn't matter if you're sitting there and you in your head you're like, well, they're all wrong. It doesn't. It still kind of makes you feel like the odd guy out. Like I don't know. Like it's hard to know how to grieve with religious people, and maybe that's something we can talk about some other time. Because I don't know the answer to that, but it does make you feel that way. But, I don't know. It's weird, but all that happened, and I know I'm rambling right now. You'll have to forgive me, but this is my way of talking through some of this crap. But talking about thoughts and prayers. People offer up thoughts and prayers. And as an atheist, you might think, they're useless. They're no, it's the equivalent of giving me nothing. You're doing nothing for me with thoughts and prayers. But what I found funny is I was thinking about, like, I know some atheists, I know some people who don't believe in prayer at all, and they say things kind of equal to thoughts and prayers. Like, there are some people, I don't have any personal friends that do this, but I have heard some people just use the word thoughts. Like, or more commonly, you'll hear people just be like, I'm thinking of you. And, which is nothing, right? Like, if you're going in for a job interview tomorrow and I tell you, well, I'll be thinking about you, I think it's just a nice way of saying, hey, I hope it goes well. I don't think anybody really means anything by that. It ain't like when you're in your interview tomorrow and I'm like, I'm thinking about you real hard, like it's going to help in any way. It's just, I guess, a nice thing to say. And I think a lot of times people, when they tell you they're praying for you, it's just a nice thing to say. Even me and some of my religious family was talking about it. Like, how many people say, well, I'm praying for you, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody in my family that, is a Christian. And they were like, I wonder how many of those people are really praying. I was like, oh, I can guarantee you half of them ain't, Like, I know some of these people, they like never go to church, or drunks and whatever. They're like, yeah, you're in my prayers. It's like, dude, really? You pray? Maybe they do. I don't know. But also, I know some people, they use the term good vibes. Good vibes. Most of the people that use the term good vibes are people that don't believe in prayer. It seems like most of the time. It's like, I don't believe in prayer. Prayer don't change things, but I'll send some good vibes your way. And so, what does that mean? And so that was the thing I was thinking about in the shower today. And I was thinking about maybe I could do a video on, so I just talk about it a little bit now. And because I was thinking about that. I'm in the shower and I'm thinking, what is the need to say something like good that is meaningless, like good vibes? Like, if you don't believe in thoughts and prayers, it's like you got to find something to replace it with. Some people, not everyone. And I think I know why. Like, it can only be one of two reasons. It can be one, again, it's just a nice thing to say. It's just a way to say, hey man, I'm thinking about you. Hey, good luck or whatever. Like, what does good luck mean? Same thing. Like, I guess some people believe in luck, but most people, I think, it's just a nice thing to say. Or two, and I think sometimes this could be a reason, whether consciously or subconsciously, is if you don't believe in prayer, and you're looking at the world through a lens of reality and just taking things as literal as you can, and just at face value for what you see and the facts of what you know, then there's so much that we don't know, but what we do know is we're these little specks on this big ball, spinning around and around and getting hurled through space around this big ball of fire in a universe so vast our feeble minds can't even comprehend it. And that's freaking scary. And what we know, if you know reality, what you know is that even me, even my family that just suffered a terrible loss. You know, we lost my stepdad, my mom lost her husband. Christmas is gonna, you know, we're gonna try to make it the best, but you're gonna sit there and be looking at that empty seat. And I think for a religious person, maybe there's this sense, if you believe in God and you believe in a supreme being, there's this sense that, okay, that happened. There's got to be a buffer between now and the next horrible thing that happens. And if you believe in reality and you know that everything is just up to chance and anything can happen, and we're just spinning out of control, what I know in my heart is no one's safe. We just went through this. Tomorrow it could be me. Tomorrow it could be my wife. You know, it could be my baby girl. It could be one of my nephews that I love so much. There's no rule, there's no law that says Joe's had enough heartache for this year. In reality, when everything's spinning out of control, anything can freaking happen. I just lost my stepdad. Man, that hurts. That hurts bad. But there's people that are going to be celebrating Christmas this year. People I know. People close to me, you know, not really close to me, but that live close to here that I've heard their stories just in my small community that's lost their kid. And they're going to be sitting there at Christmas and there's going to be a teenager that ain't there no more. A woman I went to school with went to bed talking to her husband, and one minute he was talking to her and the next he wasn't. There's people, you know, going through shit as bad and way worse than anything we are. And we could be right there with them tomorrow. And so I think the reason we say good vibes is because even though we don't believe in prayers, like somewhere we need to think that there's some kind of law, there's some kind of order, there's something controlling this shit. There's something holding it all together. There's something that would prevent more than I can bear. Because you hear that all the time from Christians, like, God will never put more on you than you can bear. And, first of all, we know it's not true. Because there's been people, especially, you hear it a lot with older people, who lose their spouse, and it's more than they can bear. And, they basically grieve themselves to death. There's people who have ended their own life because they've just been through more than they can bear. I don't know why I think of scenarios in my head that I should never think about. And, and I've envisioned what would happen if I lost my wife and kid. Like, what if something tragic happened, they both were gone in an instant? And I just don't know if there's a scenario where that happens where I go on. I mean, I don't even know if I want to think that I would. A part of me wants to say, well, I would hope that I could manage, but I don't even know if I would want to. And so there's a part of you that just wants to think there's some kind of order. There's something holding it together just a little bit. And so that maybe that's why some people say good vibes. Maybe they like to think that they believe in the universe. The universe won't allow it. I don't even know what that means. You hear people talk about the universe will give you this, and the universe. I have no clue what that means. So it's a scary world. It's a scary world when you don't believe in prayer. You don't believe in a supernatural being controlling it all. And how could you? How could you? The only reason that it seems like that maybe I'm not being hit with more than I can bear is just the good fortune of where I am, where I was born and raised. A family, definitely not in a rich family by any means, but in comparison to so many, the majority of people around the world, I got it pretty good. You know, I was thinking if reincarnation was real and you came back as another human being on this planet, not as an animal, but you knew you were going to come back as a person, would you want to be reincarnated? Think about the odds. Think about the odds of where you would be born and what kind of situation you would be in. Well, there's a very good chance you're going to be born somewhere that you're going to spend every day looking for your next meal. I've just been fortunate where I am, like, and maybe that's why, like, it hasn't really stacked up against me, you know, as bad as it could, as bad as I see around me with some people. And so it's rough. Because I really don't believe. Not only do I not believe in a God, not only do I not believe in, you know, any of that religious stuff, I don't believe in the universe, as they say it. I don't really think there's anything preventing the worst case scenario that I can think of. There's nothing that is going to keep that, guarantee me that that isn't going to happen. And so, what do you do with that? I think you do the only thing you can do. You live every moment. You know, like I've said so many times, you enjoy every single moment. What I know now is my family has a huge hole in it because my stepdad's gone. There's a huge hole, but I can't change that. I can't go back. I can't bring him back. And unfortunately, with my beliefs, as far as I know, I'll never see him again. And the rest of my family may have that hope that they'll see him again, they'll talk to him again, they'll be with him again. I don't have that hope. I don't have that hope that I'll ever see my dad again that passed when I was 16, and my grandpa's, you know, any of the other family that I've lost. I don't have that hope. I don't believe it. Now, you know, do I know that there isn't some afterlife? No, I don't know any of that. I'm pretty sure that what's been presented to me is false as far as what could be possible. I don't know, guys. I don't know. What I believe is that when I die, and that's it. Lights go out. But there could be something. There could be another this. There could be another something different than this. There could, you know, I doubt it, but there could be. But what we know is we have right now. That's all we know. Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow will never get here. All you guys right now. Tomorrow, it will be right now. That's all you got. By the time you watch this, I might be gone. I don't know. You know, I think about it a lot, and it's one of the reasons why I do these videos, because I think sometimes maybe this is a little something that'll outlive me. And maybe I'll have grandchildren one day that, and I won't live that long. I don't know. And they'll never know old Papa Joe. and maybe they can watch these videos. You might not think that's the best thing for my grandkids to see, but you know, it'll give them a little glimpse of who I was, what I believed, what I stood for, and I hope they look at it and think, he was an alright guy, you know, I hope. But that's all we have is right now, and also all we have is each other. You know, I don't think I finished my thought, but what I was saying, my stepdad's gone. I can't bring him back. But what I can do is I can love the rest of my family. I can enjoy every moment that I have with them right now. And I can be there for them. And we need to be there for each other. Like, not just our immediate family, but, you know, look around. You know, is there somebody you could be helping? Is there somebody whose life you could make a little less miserable? You know, instead of saying, hey, if there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Maybe just do something for somebody. You know, maybe figure out what you can do for them and do it. And if we all did that, just imagine if everyone did that. If you just looked around in your own community and you just did a little something within your means. Can you imagine how much better the world would be? Because, you know, that would just, the ripple effect of that would just be incredible. And then maybe when your life is done, your kid's life, your grandkid's life, maybe, you know, maybe your kid's life will be just a little brighter than yours. Your grandkids will be just a little brighter than your kids. They'll just, the quality of life will go up. Does it mean anything in the end? I don't know, we'll all be gone, right? But maybe there's something on the other side. Who knows? We don't know. What I do know is if there isn't, probably one of the things I enjoy most in this life is sleeping. So when I'm gone, I'm gonna take one hell of a nap. And if there's nothing on the other side of that, maybe that's okay. I just enjoy the nap. But guys, that's, you know, I feel a little better. Got that off my chest. And I brought like 5 beers out here and I didn't even drink one. Of course, it probably would have went down a little smoother if I hadn't drunk 2 glasses of milk before I come out here. And a big thing of chocolate cake. But it's Christmas time almost, so I get a splurge. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. And again, I apologize because it's been so long since my last video. I'll try to get back to just being my regular self after this. I just needed kind of a buffer video after all this happened. You know, it's kind of rough, but I'm sorry. I know this video was rough around the edges, as are all my videos. But thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And a big thanks to all my patrons. I appreciate you guys, and I really apologize to you guys for it being so long since my last video. I'll try to do better, I promise. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all you guys. Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is you're celebrating. But anyway, catch you guys later. If you want to become a patron, you can do so at patreon.com/TheRebelsAdvocate. Thanks. Talk to you guys later. Bye.